Hi Tacoma, welcome back to your first grade TV classroom. Today is Tuesday, November 17th, and I'm Mrs. Oslin. As always, let's take a moment to check in with our zones. Think about what emotion you're feeling. Think about your I message. You'll remember your I message sounds like I feel because And also pay attention to how strongly you're feeling your emotion. Take some think time. I'm going to model sharing my I message with Rashid. Rashid, I'm feeling really relaxed and focused today because I slept well and I'm well prepared for my lessons. Now you take a moment to share your iMessage with your learning buddy, someone in the room with you, or with me on the screen. You'll remember it's really important for all of us to stop and think about how we're feeling and how strongly we're feeling it. And you'll remember that if you're recognizing you're at a 4 or a 5 on the feelings thermometer and you feel like you might say or do something you know you shouldn't or that could hurt someone, you know that you need to stop and think. And when you stop and think, you can use your stop and stay cool steps. You'll remember the first step is you say, I feel like I'm losing control. Then you stop. You give yourself a chili hug. Practice doing that with me. Then you practice breathing in for 5 and out for 5. Let's do that together. Then, hopefully, you're cool and ready for school and ready to share your iMessage. You'll remember we've been talking about finding win-win solutions to a conflict. A conflict is a problem you have with someone, and it happens all the time. We all have conflict. What's important is that we find a win-win solution, which is a solution where both people get some of what they want and both people feel good about the outcome. Some possible win-win solutions that we've been talking about are share, take turns, apologize, fix the problem, and if none of those are going to work, you need to get help. Today and every day when we come together, your job is to listen, share your thinking, and read and write. You're a strong listener when you keep your eyes on the speaker, when you listen to the speaker, and when you think about the words or the ideas that I'm asking you to think about. Also, you will get opportunities to share. I do want you talking about your thinking. Did you know that in your ELA packet, you have your kindergarten word wall? We've been using it. So right now, what I would like you to get is your kindergarten word wall and your whiteboard and marker. And you should have a little booklet that you picked up from your teacher called The Fat Rat and your learning buddy. So gather those materials and then come back to me. You ready? Okay. So look at your word wall from kindergarten and look at all those words that you can read and write in a snap. Now, you may be thinking that you can read and write about 50 words in a snap, but I'm going to tell you that you can read and write more like 500 words in a snap. And that's because a lot of these words on your word wall are really powerful words. They have a lot of power. You have a lot of power. This word, up, is a word that you studied in kindergarten, and you can read and write it in a snap. And you may be thinking, well, that's just a little word. But I want to teach you that little words can have a lot of power. So look at the word up and read it. How can you use the word up to read and write other words? Take some think time. You can add another letter or a blend or a digraph to the front of the word up to make another word. Get your whiteboard out and practice doing that. Even though up is a little word, it has a lot of power. Today, I want to teach you how power words help you read and write a lot of other words. Let's practice with the word up. So I'm going to practice on my whiteboard, and you're going to practice on your whiteboard. So you remember, when we use a whiteboard marker, we always plug in the cap so we don't lose it. Now, the word up. U-P. Now, what consonant or other letter or blend or digraph could I add to the front of the word up to build another word? What if I add a C? I have the word cup. Up, cup. Even though up is a little word, I can use it to read and write a lot of other words. Now I want you to erase whatever consonant you added and make another word with the power word up. Up, mup. What's a mup? That's not a real word. Let's practice with more power words. Read this word in a snap. At. Write at on your whiteboard. Now, what other consonant can you add to the front of the word at to make another word? At. Fat. I used the power word at to build the word fat. If I can read and write at in a snap, I can read and write the word fat in a snap. Now, if you were reading a book and it was describing a dog as a fat dog, the fat dog, watch what I do here, sat on a, you're figuring it out, mat that was flat. I used a blend at the beginning to build another word. Don't forget, you can use blends and digraphs also. If you can read the word at in a snap, you can also read and write the words mat, sat, and flat. Here is a super tricky one. Write the word can on your whiteboard. Can. Now, what can we do to make can a power word? Use the word can to read and write a lot of other words. K, an. van. If I can read and write the word can in a snap, I can read and write the word van in a snap. Now, take some time to see how many words you can make out of this power word, can. Oh, that was clever. I saw what you did there. You added a digraph. Van. If you can read and write the word can in a snap, you can read and write the word van in a snap. Okay, now that we know that we can use power words to read and write a lot of other words, we're going to use what we know about the power word at to read this book, The Fat Rat. So we're going to do a shared reading, which means we're doing it together. So don't make me do all the work. Do it with me. Have the fat rat out in front of you. And if you don't have it, you can read it on the screen with me. You will notice the fat rat, the title, there's our power word, at, right there. Here we go. Read it with me. The fat rat. The very fat rat bit the little pup on the nose. Then the rat went to the kitten. Here's another power word. It. If you can read and write it in a snap, then you can read and write bit in a snap. Let's keep reading. The pup jumped up. No, it barked. The girl hit the rat on the butt with her hat. There's it. There's at. Do you see any other power words? Our author added a p to up, and it made the word pup. Let's keep reading. Drat, rat, she said. No, you go. Drat you. She ran after the rat. Now, see how many power words you can find on this page. Let's keep reading using our power words to help us read and write a lot of other words. The kitten smiled at the pup and the girl. You saved me, she said. Sit here with me. Be my pup. Be my family. Now, first graders, we learned that you can use power words, the words that are seemingly really small but have a lot of power, because you can use them to read and write a lot of other words. We did that today with the power words up, at, and then you use those to help you read our shared reading text, The Fat Rat. So your job today, when you are independently reading, is to use power words to help you read a lot of other words. Look at the words in your book and see how many power words you can find. I also want you to spend time practicing reading The Fat Rat, our shared reading text. You can also practice reading the word wall from kindergarten so that you are sure you know these words in a snap. And then look at your word wall and find how many power words there are. You can practice reading your word wall loud like a monster, scary like a witch, squeaky like a mouse, whisper like a secret. Or get creative and invent your own way. And if it's okay with an adult, ask if they can record you or ask them to record you. And you can email us you reading your word wall in your special way at our email address right there. And we will share it with the TV classroom audience. If you don't want us to share your video, we'll just tell people how you came up with to read your word wall. You can also write us a letter and send it to us at our TV classroom in the mail. You're going to continue tracking your reading goals, adding to this chart to send to your teacher so that your teacher knows what you're working on. Finally, when you're writing today, use power words to help you write words. You can listen to the middle and ending sound and add consonants or digraphs and blends to the front of words to write many other words. Excellent job reading and writing with me today, first graders. Now it's your 5-minute break. During this time, you're going to take care of your needs, but you're also going to gather your materials. You're going to gather your whiteboard, your marker, which you should already have, your learning buddy, and your counters, and be ready for math in 5 minutes with Mrs. Wally. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.
Welcome back, first graders. It's Tuesday, so let's do a little true or false Tuesday. I'm really excited today because I figured out how to have a camera that I can show you my work without having to hold up my whiteboard. So when it's work time, you can see what I'm doing while you're doing it. So be patient with me as I switch back and forth today, okay? All right, so here we go. True or false Tuesday. Let's read the expression and see if we think it's true or false. Are you ready? Here we go. 4 is the same as 4 plus 4. What is 4 plus 4? Yeah, it's 8. So is 4 the same as 8? It is false. 4 does not equal 8. They are not the same. Next. 10 equals 8 plus 3. Let's read that a different way. 10 is the same as 8 plus 3. To figure that out, we have to know what 8 plus 3 is. What is 8 plus 3, first graders? 8 plus 3 is 11. Is 10 the same as 11? Does 10 equal 11? It is false. Okay. 5, read it with me. 5 is the same as 10 plus 5. Is that true? Is 5 the same as 10 plus 5? Well, what's 10 plus 5? 15. Is 5 the same as 15? They are not the same. Let's read this one. 10 plus 0 is the same as 10. What's 10 plus 0? 10. That funny 0. I need to change my color. That funny 0, it means we add nothing to it. So if you have 10 and you add nothing, you get 10. 10 plus 0 is the same as 10. Is that true or false? Ding, ding, ding. It's true. Woohoo. Okay. Last one. Are you ready? 1 plus 5 plus 2 is the same as 10. 1 plus 5 plus 2 is the same as 10. Well, what's 1 plus 5? What's that equal? Yeah, it's 6. And then we add 6 plus 2. What's 6 plus 2? 8. 8 is the same as 10. That is false, not true. All right, today we are learning to use comparison bar models to subtract. We've been working on this for a while. Let's get to work. So I'm going to make it so you can see both of my things. Isn't that cool? I wish I could make me a little bit bigger, but I can't. That's just how it is. So you can see my hands just like we normally do in the studio. I'm going to get my whiteboard pen and my eraser, and I want you to have the same. So what do we see here in this first problem? It says 10 minus blank equals blank. What do you notice? Yeah, there's 10 red. How many yellows? 6. So remember, we take the greater part and we take away the part that's the same. That means the less part, right? We put that line down the middle. So I want you to draw 10 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then draw 6 circles. And draw your line. So we're going to separate the part that's the same and different. And that's what we're doing when we have this equation. We have 10, and we separate the part that's the same of the two numbers, which is 6. 10 has a 6 in it, and 6 has a 6 in it. And then we have what's left, the part that's different. What's left? How many do you see? Count on your board. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10 minus 6 equals 4. Ta-da! I would like you to try the next one on your own, and then we will go over it together. I'm going to give you 1 minute. Are you ready? Go for it. I've got to do my own thing, kind of music. Excuse me. If you're wondering why I'm looking that way, is I'm looking at the timer. Okay, you ready? If I was a first grader, this is what I would do. I want you to watch me. I want you to check your thinking with my thinking. I would draw the model. So I've got 2 bars here. My bars are the same length. The top bar has 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the bottom has 3. And I'm going to write my equation. 7 minus, so I've got to figure out how many am I going to subtract? Well, remember that when we use comparison bars, we separate the part that's the same from the part that's different. So all the ones that have a match are the ones that are the same. And that number is 3. 7 minus 3 equals blank. And all I do is I count the part that's left to find out what the difference is. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 more or 4 less. If I have 7 pieces of candy and my friend has 3 pieces of candy, I have 4 more pieces of candy. My friend has 4 less pieces of candy. Is that what you did? Kiss your brain. Nice job, first graders. Reset. Okay, let's go on to the next problem. You ready? We're going to read this one together, and then you're going to do it on your own, and then you'll check with me here. Clara has 7 fish. Pat has 6 fish. How many more fish does Clara have? So I want you to draw. First of all, we think about which number is greater. Draw that number. Now, Pat has 6 fish. How many more fish does Clara have? Go ahead and solve. You have 1 minute. Here we go. Okay, are you ready? Here's what I would have done. I want you to check your thinking with my thinking. 7 is greater than 6. So I know my comparison bar is going to have 7 on the top. And 6 on the bottom. So 7 minus the part that's the same. We're going to separate it. And what number is the same for both? 6 equals the part that's different. 1. So the question was, how many more fish does Clara have? Clara has 1 more fish. How many less fish does Pat have? Yeah, 1 less fish. Nice job, first graders. Reset your board. Okay. Let's go to the next problem. Ooh, this one has no help. We're going to see if you can do it all on your own. Go ahead and draw your bar model. So we're going to make a big, long rectangle. Okay. and then a second long rectangle. And you're gonna, part of it's gonna be like this. Okay, here's the problem. Are you ready? Remember, you're thinking about which am I gonna do? You're thinking, which one's gonna go in the longer bar? Which one's gonna go in the shorter bar? You ready? 7 big shells and 9 small shells. How many more small shells are there? 7 big shells, 9 small shells. Go ahead, solve. You have 1 minute. Okay, you ready? 9 is the greater number. It goes in the top. 7 is the less number. It goes in the bottom. Oh, I'm going to move that line. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay, because you didn't know when you made the bar. I know that I take my greater number and I subtract the part that's the same in both numbers, which is 7. And that equals the part that's different. What part's different? 2. So how many more small shells are there? 2 more small shells. Nice job. 9 minus 7 equals 2. So we have 2 more small shells. All right, reset that board. Okay. I'm going to unpin. I'm going to pin this video now. There I am, nice and big. All right. Ready? 2 chocolate cookies, 8 cherry cookies. How many fewer chocolate cookies? 2 chocolate cookies, 8 cherry cookies. We're going to do this one together. What's going to go on top? What's greater? 8. There's my top bar. Let's do 8. 1, 2. Oh, you can't see it. Hang on. Let me switch. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to draw my bottom bar. And how many are chocolate cookies? 2. 1, 2. And this whole part right here is, don't know. So if I want to find how many more or how many less, who remembers what I do? Yeah, I write down the greater number, and I said, find the part that's the same. So I'm going to go, what's the same in these 2 numbers? And this 8 has a 2, and this 2 has a 2, right? So our number is 2. 2 is the same in both numbers. And then that tells us the part that's different. So how many is different? Count up your circles. Yeah, 6. So the question is, how many fewer chocolate cookies? 6 fewer, because it doesn't have this part. So it has this many less. So it has 6 fewer than up here. Now, the cherry cookies have 6 more than the chocolate cookies. The chocolate cookies have 6 less than the cherry cookies. Pretty cool, huh? All right, let's reset our boards. Next problem. All right. This one's all on your own. Are you ready? 2 circles, 9 squares. How many fewer circles? Ready, set, go. You ready? You ready? Are you sure? Okay, I'll make my whiteboard nice and big. Here we go. Oh, it's already pinned. There we go. So I have 9 squares. 7, 8, 9, and 2 circles. Move my bars. Find the part that's the same. So I know I do the greater number first, 9, and I subtract the part that's the same, which is 2, and that's going to equal the part that's fewer or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This bottom part has 7 fewer than this one, right? This top part has 7 more than this one. So there are 7 fewer circles. Ta-da! We did it. Is that what you got? Nice job, first graders. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to skip this one because I want to do this one. Draw a model to help you solve this problem. 9 forks and 3 spoons. How many more forks? Ready? Go. Draw a model. Start with a rectangle, and then a second rectangle. And then we ask ourselves, what's the, greater number? That one on the top. What's the lesser number? Which one's less, 9 or 3? 3, we put that one on the bottom. And then we make a line. Now, I know from my equation, what do we start with? We start with the greater number. And we subtract the part that's the same in both numbers. So which ones has partners? Partner. The part that's the same was 3. Both numbers have 3 in it. Both numbers don't have 4. And then we count the part that's different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, the question was, how many more forks? So we look at, this was spoons and this was forks. And we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more forks. If we wanted to know how many fewer spoons, we would go, oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fewer spoons. Isn't that great? 6 more forks. Nice job, first graders. So your assignment for today, now I'm going to unpin this. And we're going to pin this video. There we go. All right. So your assignment for today is to do some of these problems. We didn't do the last one, number 5, together. So that's the one you're going to do all on your own. But you're going to practice these problems that we just did all by yourself. So page 185 and 186. Now, if this is feeling really confusing, you need to make sure you have an adult help you call your teacher and talk with them about it on the phone. Okay? All right. Today we learned and reviewed how to use comparison bars to subtract. Did we draw comparison bars? Mm-hmm. Did we put the part that's greater in the longer bar and the part that's less in the shorter bar? Mm-hmm. Did we identify the part that is different between the two numbers? Mm-hmm. Did we use an equation to solve for the part we did not know? Yes, we did. Kiss your brain, first graders. Awesome job. All right. It is now time for our affirmation. And today's affirmation is, I am awesome because you are. It's one of my favorite ones. It's almost more favorite than I matter, but I matter is more important. So here we go. I'm going to go, and then you're going to go. I am awesome. Your turn. Great job, first graders. We will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.